39 years old, but that's the same thing in basketball years. Brian Windhorst, who has been covering LeBron James, famously covering LeBron James since he was in high school, is with me now. Wendy, LeBron ain't retiring. First of all, he represents leverage for Bronny. Second of all, he's too good to retire. Wendy, he just played in his 20th season. And it's really more than that because he's been in more than half the finals, so that's an extra 2 months of basketball plus Olympics and making movies and everything. In his 20th season, at the age of 38, he played 48 minutes and basically had a 40-point triple-double and got him within a possession of winning the game. Are you buying that we could have possibly just witnessed his last game?
I'm not buying it. I respect his words as somebody who is just physically and emotionally spent. I have covered players who get to the end of a long playoff run and they say things about their careers, and sometimes that's being honest and sometimes it's just speaking in the moment. So I'm going to respect what he said. I think what's more likely is that we are heading into a period where LeBron is going to go year to year. But what you said is correct. The long-standing plan that he and his team have been working with is 2 more years. 1 year at $47 million under contract for the Lakers, guaranteed next year, and then an option to become a free agent when Bronny can potentially join the league to either stay with the Lakers for $50 million or potentially go someplace else if that's where it needs to be. I would expect that plan to be reevaluated as I would expect any 38-year-old to reevaluate any 2-year plan. But I do think that ultimately that's where he'll end up at the end of this.
Wendy, let me do something unfair to LeBron right now, which a lot of pundits and media types do to athletes, and fans do it too, when they make news before a finals actually is going on, right? What about this idea that LeBron James, even if he's answering a question, he did it cryptically. He did it in a way that, of course, is going to grab attention and kind of distract from the winning team and, you know, who's going on to the NBA Finals. Do you think there's any legitimate criticism of LeBron kind of being self-involved in that moment right now?
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be 100% clear. I don't know what was in his head or what his intentions were. I will say that that wasn't the question that was asked to him. He knew it was the last question, and he was asked sort of a different question, and he turned it in that way, which I've seen him do literally for decades to get something out that he wants to do. And then he doubled down talking to Dave McMenamin. So I do think that he might have had that on his mind that he wanted to get out there, but I'm not saying it was insidious because he was trying to steal from somebody else. But I do think he has a reason why he's doing it. I can speculate on those reasons, but I wouldn't know for sure.
When you say you could speculate, you mean putting pressure on the Lakers, for example, to improve the team in a way he may desire? Would that be a fair speculation?
Yes. I mean, the Lakers have, yes, Max, the Lakers have 2 pretty clear paths they can go down. One is to keep this team mostly together. They have a contract option on Malik Beasley. They have free agency for D'Angelo Russell and Rui Hachimura and Mo Bamba if they go that route. They could pretty much bring this team back. They have the ability to do that. Austin Reeves, who I think isn't going anywhere. Or they could open up, if they wanted to, $30+ million in salary cap space. And for a team to have LeBron James and Anthony Davis under contract with $30 million in salary cap space, with a first-round pick in this year's draft and a future first-round pick they can trade, that would open up a lot of options to retrofit this team that actually just got them to the conference finals. And knowing LeBron like I do, I would expect option B would be preferable, but I don't want to assume that's what he was doing, but it smells like that.
Well, we have a full screen now. You see it on ESPN of what Wendy just talked about. Wendy, you know, LeBron James and AD, they're both the contracts due 24-25. Key free agents are Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, both nice pieces. D'Angelo Russell, who's got to go. I mean, come on, they can't live with that. He was a disaster both ends of the floor. And Dennis Schroeder, and they, as you mentioned, have both first and second round picks. They're number 17 and 47 overall. Richard Jefferson joins the party now. Guys, look, they got to go after Kyrie. I know. I am the first one to say Kyrie Irving has improbably not made teams better that he's been on in large sample sizes, in Boston, in Cleveland, in Brooklyn, less so in Brooklyn, but in Phoenix. excuse me. In Dallas, you look and you say, wait a minute, their record, even in the playoffs, is just as good without him as with him. How's that possible? But with LeBron, it was different. He won a championship with LeBron, and he was incredible in crunch time in those finals. And when you look at AD and LeBron, the thing that's missing a perfect complementary piece is Kyrie Irving. RJ, they got to go after Kyrie in this offseason.
Well, I think Kyrie, yes, he should be high on their list of players that they should probably look at very, very heavily. I think what we saw with the Lakers this year is the reason why they had to go get a third superstar. Now, Russell Westbrook, the fit was not great. That was not all Russ. That was not all Lakers. It just wasn't a great fit. But you saw Anthony Davis is not ready to take the mantle away from LeBron James. He has been outstanding in this postseason run. But has he been a number one consistently? Has he been at the likes that I think a lot of people would like him to grow to? I don't think so. So when you look at the contribution from the rest of the Lakers, while they did overachieve to a point, while I think they were outstanding, you can still see now we're talking about the Lakers needing a third superstar because we've done this for multiple years. You saw it without a third superstar in the after the bubble. You saw them try and get a third superstar and Russell and have it not work out. Right now, you can see that's why Kyrie's name is really because AD is not ready to be the number one.
Yeah, 100, by the way, not ready. He's only been in the league 25 years, right? He's just not, as the kids say, him. He's an excellent player, but he's the next thing to a superstar. He's an all-star plus. But, Wendy, what RJ brings up with Kyrie as opposed to Russell Westbrook is that Kyrie has the handles. He can create off the bounce. Obviously, incredible layup, but he can also shoot. He can shoot the lights out from anywhere, right? And that's what they would need in that third superstar. Is there a path, Wendy, where they could hold on to some of the assets they like Reeves, Hachimura, either or, and get Kyrie?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, 1 second on that. RJ, did you not tell me one time at the end of a playoff run you were retiring and then, in fact, played 3 more seasons? I believe you did, sir. I don't blame you for it. You were tired. I get it. So here's the thing about Kyrie Irving. Any discussion that begins with Kyrie Irving playing for the Lakers starts with his willingness to take a big-time pay cut because the Lakers could probably not get anywhere close to what his max number is. So before anybody gets out the whiteboard and tries to explain it, I don't know if Kyrie Irving's got that appetite, but I do know that he's interested in making the Mavericks think that, and I know that because he showed up at 2 Laker playoff games just to stoke the fires of it. And certainly if this is a leverage move, it's probably going to work. But the Lakers can keep Austin Reeves and give Kyrie Irving a salary that is in excess of $30 million. But they don't have to just go with Kyrie, Max. They have a bunch of different ways they can use that salary cap space. They could investigate Fred VanVleet, who is now represented by Rich Paul. They could investigate other trades. They don't have to use salary cap space just to sign free agents. So I think of a wider field than just Kyrie Irving, because I know the Lakers will be.
Yeah, VanVleet would be great, but RJ, I got to tell you, in LeBron, you got the alpha, and then in Kyrie, you got the beta. I mean, really, AD is the gamma. He ain't the beta. Let's be honest, right? In that situation, I think it works.
Well, and I think that's the biggest thing. I think in 2020, we were looking to see, that moment. And the Laker broadcast, Fish and Robert Horry, they were talking about how there was a time where Magic Johnson took over the team from Kareem. He was like, hey, this is my team now, and Kareem fell in line. LeBron James is waiting to take a step back. LeBron James is waiting you saw all postseason, they were featuring AD. They were throwing it to AD. LeBron not taking shots in the first quarter. And while I would say AD was a very good version of himself this whole postseason, healthy, active, a defensive monster, he didn't look like a number one. Because number ones typically get you where you need to do, and they're very consistently. That's where the Lakers got in trouble. Once AD had that 40-point game in Game 1 and they lost, that was pretty much the end of the series, in my opinion.
Time for a prop quiz on tonight's Eastern Conference Final, Game 4 in Miami. Windy, Jaylen Brown, 23.5 points. Over or under?
The Celtics better hope it's over.
Are you saying over or under?
I'm saying over. Over.
All right. They better hope it's over, well, for sure, right? All right.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. What about Jason Tatum, Windy? 29. Talk about hope. 29.5 points, over or under?
Jason Tatum has played his best in his career when his back's against the wall. I will say over. I don't know if it's going to be enough because I think the Heat have great emotion on their side, but I'm going over for both of them tonight. I say they go out fighting.
Okay, Jimmy Butler reaches his hand into the actual chest cavity, pulls out their hearts while it's still beating, and eats it in front of them. Over or under?
I say over because Jimmy's gotten to have a little bit of rest. He hasn't had to play that much the last 4 or 5 days. I think he's going to want to end it right now. Huge advantage of time off if they're able to do it now, not to have to travel to Boston. I think Jimmy pours it all out tonight, goes for a big number.
Wendy, they turned the lights off. Got to let you go. The actual over-under was 27.5, but